that one that they have the movie. It's like the Seventh King or whatever, but the show
Yes.
is
Yeah.
13th Warrior, right? 13th Warrior with
No,
It's
Antonio
Antonio
Banderas.
Banderas.
Yeah, so that's
that's
what I was
Antonio
gonna say.
Banderas.
That's kind of a Viking movie, but it's not about Vikings at all. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So you see how that kind of like, you can't just make a direct Viking movie. You have to make it about something else.
Yeah, if you don't include like the violence heritage of the Vikings, then it's
Just a bunch of
you
dudes
don't
drinking meat in the
feel
woods.
you
It's
don't
not
you don't
fucking
get out of it
interesting.
what you want to get out of it ultimately, because that's all we think about.
Yeah.
I think in that sense.
That's how boring they are. The good part about Vikings is that they meet the British, the other boring people in the region.
Yeah, and they're like, but it's only like just when they meet is the only time you want to hear their stories.
Yeah, because then after that, it's all like compromises and settlement and farming.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we're gonna live here now, because we killed all the people that live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they invaded another culture and then hilariously got assimilated by that culture, and their culture died.
Well, it's like that.
They did
the
a
same
better
thing
version.
happened
That
in
is very,
France.
very true.
Grow on their land.
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like though they changed a lot of Old English culture as well.
Yeah, they definitely
like-
had an effect. They had an effect on
'Cause-
everybody in the region because they settled everywhere. Everywhere
Yeah.
from Scotland to Spain.
Yeah,
you know?
they're like the Mongolians, but only in Western Europe.
They're like the Mongolians, except they were so white they just blended into every single other culture. Like is
Yeah. Well, the Khanate that went and took over most of what became Turkey and Iran did the same thing.
The who that did that?
What, the Mongols?
It was one of Genghis Khan's sons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thought
It
you were
was like
talking
the
about
fourth
Vikings.
son.
It's like, I don't think they got that far.
Not Kula. He stayed in China.
No, he took over like Western China and then
Mongolia.
owned China after. Yeah.
I mean, because that's the other thing, right? Is like, isn't Viking? Wasn't that like a profession? It wasn't like
Yeah. You
exactly
go
a group
Viking.
of people. Yeah.
It was not at all.
Yeah,
So
they
it
were
was
the
mostly
Norse.
Northmen, either from
They
like
have
Scandinavia
what is
or
that show? It's on Netflix. It's The Last Viking or The Last Kingdom or whatever.
The Last Kingdom.
It's the
Yeah, that
one
one's
with
pretty
like
tight.
Uhtred of Bedenberg or whatever. I watched the entire thing, but it's like it's just a repeat because they meet new Vikings that are like under English rule, and then they fight, and then they outsmart them, and they're like, all right. And this dude just never gets back home, pretty much.
What I just want to see is like a scene of the Vikings on their boats rolling up to the Golden Horn to sack Byzantium, and then they just encounter this chain that stretches the entire horn, where each chain link is the size of a boat, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, this is not what we expected.
Yeah. They're like, wait a minute. They have like one scene in one of the shows that I watched that's like that.
It's kind of like there's this black comedian who was doing a joke, and he's like, like slave culture and everything like that. I thought we were doing okay, and then I got a history book and I saw the pyramids. I was like, no one told us we could use geometry. Yeah, they're just like whole different class. They did not realize what they were getting in for.
Well, they'd ruled pretty much everywhere they went to on the rivers that they didn't have to they weren't contested, so not in that aspect.
I mean, in fairness, there are a lot of reasons why that happened. Like,
Yeah.
nobody expected anybody to attack from rivers because you need shallow fucking boats for that. So they kind of had an advantage. It'd be like nobody expects,
Massively.
like it's a massive advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like
wait,
you're in the
rivers
center
are
of a
dirty.
shopping
no one's
center.
coming up there.
you're in the middle of a shopping center. You don't expect a scooter gang to come get you with their getaway scooters.
Yeah, I don't expect anybody to jump out of my fucking closet right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And if they were, they got you. They're done. It's over.
no, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still a lot that's got to happen.
No,
But
what's
yeah,
more
no,
terrifying is just the cyberpunk sort of punks from Boba Fett on the freaking Vespas.
Oh,
Oh
those
my
guys.
god.
Oh my
Oh, the
god.
Vespa gang. Yeah.
That's who I'm gonna
Uh,
be. I'm going to Disneyland for Star Wars Day, and my
Droid
wife always
punks.
asks me what I want to dress up as because they let you dress up on those days. So I want to be the cyber fucking nerds on.
I'll tell you
Smooth.
what. I was watching the act like going, I miss the cyber gang. I miss the little Vesper gang.
That show was so bad. They like wasted their time on that. There's other shows.
So
There was
hard.
like some serious talent that was wasted too.
It was, and I did feel bad. Like Daphne Keene, X-23 from Logan, she was fantastic. The Soul actor was really good. They wildly misused Trinity.
Oh,
What's her
God.
name?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That one hurt. And some
Yeah.
of the stupidest premises.
They spent almost $25 million per episode. for
Okay,
that
so
show.
this is the thing
What
that blows
bothers
my
me
mind.
most is that, yeah. Go
Godzilla
ahead.
Minus One was half the budget of a single episode.
Yeah. No shit, dude.
That's
shit.
disgusting.
That's
I haven't
the
seen them yet.
difference
Is it
between
solid?
quality filmmakers and people
I
who fall into
loved
their positions.
Minus One.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
I made my son watch all the Godzilla films. Not all, because that would take years.
I like how you
but-
were like, I made him. Like you fucking just.
I did, like, because that was coming
Fucking
out, and then I
Lawrence
wanted to
style.
watch the Monarch show. So we binged like all of them.
You
Uh,
sit here and smoke this carton of cigarettes while watching
Yeah,
every Godzilla
exactly.
film.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't interested at first. But towards the end, he was. Yeah.
I mean,
Not
once
gonna
you
leave
get
your
to the
Legos
point
out
where you've got
anymore,
that
are ya?
badass tail slide flying kick,
Yeah.
like once you get to
What
that
won
point,
me
there's
over.
no coming back.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine if a studio was like, we're going to give you almost $200 million to make a Star Wars series, and you end up making The Acolyte?
Yeah.
How do you talk your way into another job like ever?
Well, I mean, I really don't want to
You
attack
blame-
the
you
director,
blame
but
the
she makes
fan.
it so easy to attack her. She says the stupidest things, like when
What?
the studio didn't want to let her put Yoda in it because they're like, we feel like you're going to really compromise the character.
She would have.
Well, she did. Because she said, no, it's my show. I get to do what I want with it. And she put Yoda in it, and
Oh,
she
I didn't
ruined
finish
Yoda.
I didn't finish watching it, so I didn't even get to that fucking part yet.
She
And-
corrupts
Well,
Yoda, and she was like, he was already
Spoiler,
corrupt.
it's like 15 seconds.
It's
of time.
fit, but like the implication is because like a
Yeah,
cover up comes to him,
100%.
and then he helps cover up this horrible crime.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. They don't. That particular scene, you don't understand. Well, you can make your own assumptions of what happens in the end. But if the assumption is that that person that talks to him is an honest person, then yes, Yoda is, of course, put into that same kind of.
But like,
All right,
what other?
you guys,
to make
you
a
guys
lie.
didn't see Yoda as a giant piece of shit this whole time?
Well,
I fucking hated that dude. Fuck him.
I don't know how to respond to you right now.
tell you, out of the two between him and Mace Windu, I was like, Yoda is at least homies with Obi-Wan, so he's all right in my book. Mace Windu is just an ass right out the gate.
Oh yeah, he is. He is an ass, and he is responsible for the downfall of the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
150%. He blew it.
Have you watched the
What was
Jedi
this?
Tales, or the animated things that they put together, and you watch like the Count Dooku and the Mace Windu, like 2 episodes they have together?
You don't even need to. You just
I know,
see
but it just
him being
just
like, "No, we
makes-
gotta do the wrong thing to cover it up," and Anakin's like, "Nope, fuck you."
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I would have probably done what Mace Windu did, ultimately.
Yes, but
But
you're not a Jedi
it was
master.
this is also true. I'm allowed to use my
Not with that
emotions.
fucking attitude.
I'm allowed to use my emotions.
So
Yes!
there.
But it's like exactly opposite of what he had
And
been
not be
preaching the
put
whole
into
time.
that compromising situation where the fate of the galaxy rests in your hands.
Who knows? I don't know. You would hope that it never happens. I would hope that it never happens.
I desperately hope it never happens. Well, yeah. A24, excellent. Not like an everyday binge, but definitely put things on your list for when you're in that right mood. Hereditary, scary as fuck in like such a good way.
Not like jump scares, but like
None of that.
good. I think it's just like cheap, and although like
well,
it hits the mark,
not a jump scare,
I-
but like something terrifying coming out of nowhere. But
If you
it's-
think jump scares are
Mm.
fucking cheap, then you need to watch all of A24's movies because they are slow burn emotional, weapons. Like they fuck with your emotions more than anything.
And
And they
if
do
you
it
don't
over the
want
course of
jump
2
scares, Haunting of Hill House, another great example,
yeah,
and the Fall of House of Usher. Unsettling, eerie, like very personally linked horrors that don't rely on jump scares, though they do use a fair amount of making you feel like a jump scare is going to happen for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's emotional
Yeah.
terrorism.
Yes, it really is.
yeah, like that I'm alright with. Like if it's like I'm just like on edge and then it just never happens, it's like all right. Yeah,
It's like-
they like actually evoke that fearful emotion on me. But a jump scare is just like, oh shit.
They do a jump scare like one time in 10, but it feels like a deserved one, especially because they torture you with the other 5
Yeah,
or 9.
yeah. I mean, I did watch the Midsummer film, and that one was just like it was bizarre the entire time through.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But yeah, A24 does more than just that kind. They do other stuff, but it's all really good production.
Right on.
Well, from everyone who was here last week, which I think is everybody, can we
Yeah,
get some
me too.
D20s rolled?
Hell yeah.
Oh, for the love of God.
I thought that was me. I was really worried at first. Yeah, fuck you. It's still you.
I'll roll here in a second. Forge is reloading the wall data.
Well, that's good. But yeah, last time we were here, we were still in the cave. We had just gotten teleported from fighting a bunch of psychic Grell on a different astral plane, which was a lot of fun. And as we were sort of exploring this whole cave system, we kept getting sort of set upon by a bunch of different spider-like and centipede-like creatures who kept trying to sort of mind dominate us, and worked a couple of times. But yeah, there was about 3 different encounters, getting stuck in with them, and as we moved sort of south trying to find an exit, because we were all very sort of low on resources and beaten up, we heard a voice from a mage who had actually set up camp here, actually using this place as a research area to tap into sort of the magical source of the planet.
The continent.
With the continent. and had made seemingly pretty good connection. And through sort of a little attunement ritual, 3 of us took part of with him. We gained some spell slots, getting sort of a connection to the continent, and realizing that we need to sort of protect this place and stop the miners from coming in, but that's probably going to be somewhat of a hard sell. But to preserve this research so the miners don't destroy it. Also, during sort of all of this, Harkin, after getting sort of dragged off by one of these creatures, turned into a small halfling or gnome.
No, I believe.
Yeah.
Just gnome child, named Tessie, who has no idea why she's here, and we haven't.
Yeah, we have no
been able to get any more
explanation for it.
information for it.
I don't either. I'm just kind of rolling to see what happens.
So we have a new friend. She seems to have similar bardic spells like Harkin, but there might have been some body swapping, some transference. I don't know. We'll dig into that a little bit later once we actually get out of this thing. The mage was nice enough to let us sort of crash in his place because we were all on death's door. And yeah, we're just sort of now waking up and deciding what our next sort of steps are.
That'll do, pig.
Hooray.
So as you're hanging out in his quarters, he's moving about, and he's kind of like absent-mindedly talking about things as he moves about, prepares some food and other things. He seems to be quite interested to share what he's learning about here. It's really incredibly fascinating. It's practically like suffused into the ground here. We're finding manifestations of it in the ore, in these like crystalline substances, even in some of the plants. And he like walks over to one jar and he opens up a lid and he digs around and he pulls out some dried mushrooms. And as he holds them up, he's very insistent. Here, look. You have to hold it up to the light in the right way.
Okay.
But there's traces of like a green dust suffused into the fungi.
I can't. Can Chuck like reach in the jar and eat one of the mushrooms?
Just one?
Just one.
Well, I wouldn't have done that.
No, it's okay. I used to do this all the time. It helps me clean. And he immediately like puts his mop down. This place is a fucking pigsty. How long you been down here and you're in squalor? I'm scrubbing the floor. I'm getting in the cracks of the tiles and shining up the pots and whatnot he's got in here.
I messed this up in my notes, I think. Chuck, did you get any spells from performing in that ceremony also?
No, I got nothing.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, you failed your
Fucking
check. Well, roll better.
That's fair. That's fair.
Look. You said there's ore that has magical properties.
It's not so straightforward, but it's suffused with this, and it's reactive to magic, and it creates some kind of new reaction between the magic and the ore that seems to be suffused with this.
Might I have a small sample that I could perhaps experiment with myself?
He like looks around and he grabs a small chunk that almost seems like fool's gold, and as he's holding it up, there's like a very faint green tracing or dusting into the ore.
Can Chuck eat that? No, I'm just kidding.
Here in a couple minutes, he'll think he can eat anything.
Tell me, you're not magically inclined yourself, are you?
What, me?
No, not particularly, but as I am trying to
I
understand more and
wasn't
more.
asking you.
Oh, very well. I did make this dagger, though.
It is
You-
a fine
good for
dagger.
you. Well,
But
I
do
wouldn't have
have some
encouraged
kin.
anyone to eat this fungi, but if you were going to,
It was delicious. Look at your place. Look how nice it looks now.
I do like that you've just been running Chuck around the whole room nonstop.
He's a whirlwind of cleaning. This place
Yeah.
is almost spotless if you disregard all these small flying imps everywhere.
well, that's part of the testing and all. Tell you what, he grabs a few more dried mushrooms and he says, if anyone who is magically versed wishes to experiment how you are, perhaps you eat some of these and try casting a spell, report your findings.
Yeah, I could give it a shot. I don't know if we'd suggest giving it to the little one, but she has some.
Yeah,
ability.
oh, that would be so funny.
Please, I would never endorse doing this. It's just if you're going to be reckless in this way anyways, I figured we could at least accomplish some learning.
It's not
Yeah,
actually a
yeah.
child.
We'll try to make him a tiefling again before we give him the mushroom.
You don't need to be cruel about it. Of course it's a child.
No, it's not. That's Harkin. That guy, he's like a big old singing horn thing.
What?
Yeah, you
He
just-
was the
Born guy.
I don't know what any of that means, but whatever. No, I would be most grateful if you could reveal what you learn about it with some experimentation.
Will do.
Thank you. I most appreciate it. Just be advised, it will probably be rather strange, so, take care. Don't do anything too reckless.
Ha! We'll try.
Anyways, so what is the next plan? You're going to get those dastardly dwarves to see what they're doing?
is
point. I'm sorry.
is what I think is best. You have shown us the power in this cavern and these mines and why it should not be disturbed.
I thank you. It is very much an unexplained ecosystem at this point, and even the slightest alteration could make all of it disappear to who knows what kind of effects.
Yeah,
This
only he
simply
can
cannot be
monopolize
tampered
it.
with. That's not how I would put it, and if there's others who wish to study and examine what's happening here, I'm certainly not opposed to that, but not in the wanton strip mining methodology that seems to be their modus operandi.
What's that?
Your parents can teach you about Latin.
Well,
What they do often.
But anyways, yes. If the dwarves are complaining that I'm trying to exploit it, or you are complaining, I have no issue with other people who wish to learn studying it. It's simply not for them to just come in and ravage and destroy.
Is there a way if researchers were to make their way down here that they could be assured to not be attacked by your friends, as you call them, summoned from other planes?
Well, letting me know you're coming would be a good start.
How would we do that before entering the cavern again?
Well, I suppose, um, hmm. Oh, yes. And he, like, goes to the front door and he points and he says, there's like a shaft over here. It seems to go all the way up to the surface. Not quite directly, but more or less straight up and down. If you were to write a message and tie it to a rock and drop it down that shaft up on the surface, it would come all the way down to me. I would hear it coming, and I would be advised. And I can prepare my friends for friendlier welcomes.
Well, I think that would be much appreciated. I don't think scholars would take kindly to being set upon by some of these things. Quite terrifying.
Quite understandable, believe me.
Probably an example of their bodies of these creatures that roam down here might also sort of off-put the common plunderer.
Indeed, yes. Another reason for my caution on this matter and not just willing to open it up and keeping them around. They do keep me and this place safe.
Yes, I was saying we can take the bodies as proof to the town, at least.
Oh, yes! Well done. Excellent idea.
But yes,
Um,
if we could try to stay away from the brains with the leg, summoning those guys back, that would probably help your case too. Apparently those were the ones possibly running out during the nights, messing with the town.
he goes over to here, moving some belongings away, some scrolls and other things, and you can see a small black stone orb that's highly polished. And he places his hand on it and concentrates, and you watch as it glows blue for a moment, and he says, they're rather sedentary right now. Unless attacked, they should not attack anyone.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
I would imagine so.
Spike's gonna like kind of scratch at his head a little bit. Yes, very much a relief. Just like shudders and shakes a little bit as he's trying to shake off the thought that there's something in his brain.
Do you have a chill?
I think every time we bring those things up, I'll have a chill.
Yes. First time they get into your head, it can be a bit unsettling. I do concede that.
But yes,
But
I'm sorry.
hope this could be a good gesture, and you can inform like-minded scholars if there are any, and encourage them, but also certainly dissuade more of these conflicts.
We will do with what we can. This town or area at least seems to be an iceberg. Always more under the surface.
Iceberg?
Yes, I've heard the tales of the large floating chunks of ice trashed the great ship of the gods, and the gods, many of them drowned, especially since some of the gods wouldn't share the doors.
Wasn't that the gods' parents?
Yeah, probably.
As I've always understood, the Titans were the parents of the gods.
Oh, this could be then. But yes, just a lot more under the surface. An anthill might be a better analogy.
Well, we don't want to make a anthill into a mountain.
I think that's moles.
Is it?
Anyway. But yes, if we can gather some of those bodies and find a easy, sort of quick way out, we'll deliver this message.
I would be grateful, and best of luck to you in dissuading dwarves.
Yeah,
Easier
this
to
is
move
gonna be-
mountains, generally.
Yeah, this is going to be a great conversation. They're always going to, especially coming from us, they're going to love this.
They don't
don't
particularly
think
take
they
kindly
will.
to any of us here.
You're right, they probably won't. Let's not go in with big heads, I guess. Come on.
Yes, I wouldn't lead with that. Well, if you wish to, you can go ahead and make your way back up to the surface. None of my friends or studies here will interfere with you.
Excellent. Appreciated. Which way is up?
That way?
Which way to the surface?
Oh! Yes. Due south.
Okay. Oh, we can pick up that giant millipede bastard on the way.
What's it?
A big orange thing, lots of teeth, crawls on the ceiling.
Oh, yes, carrion crawlers. Most useful to the ecosystem. They're exceptional at dispensing the dead.
And making them, as we almost found.
Only
Yes.
when they're particularly hungry. They're excellent at curbing outbreaks, plagues, things like that.
They were about to curb my life.
Well, as I said, that's really more of when they're desperate, and there's a lack of bodies down here, so sorry.
Yeah, maybe we can get them to make it a morgue. Or throw the bodies down the chute. Ideas for another day.
Another day, another duck.
Right? Tessie, would you like to come with us for a little longer?
I guess. This day's weird and he smells funny.
You
Just take a
wound
bath.
me. Well, little shit, I'm sure you'll be able to go up to the surface and have a most excellent bath with all of the proliferation of luxuries that are simply unavailable down here.
Sounds like a you problem.
We'll send down
Oh,
some soap.
so you understand the big words when you want to, do you?
Busted.
Okay. How did we get into this room?
Oh, I'm not going to make you go all the way back through the maze.
Oh, thank God. It's so much dragging. Oh, we're so far away, too.
As you depart, you don't run into any other problems the whole way. As you make your way all the way back up to the stairs and get to the mine level above this one, in between the surface and there. Doubling back through the mines and getting to the surface there, you find the entrance caved in.
Well, shit.
They
The
didn't
entrance
take
to the
dwarven
cave, or
bastards
just the
to be cheats or traitors like this.
like the cave itself, not the maze, right?
Where the mine comes up to the surface itself, yeah.
Okay.
Fucking dwarves! Just
Well, if
punch
it
them
was
Well,
an
how long have
accident,
you
it's
been
because
down
of their
here?
war.
As you rage, you can see that there's actually a small scrap of paper tucked into like a cleft in the stone in one corner.
Oh, don't
I
say
like to
that.
think it's like left to get melt, locked you inside for safety.
Yeah.
Try to help these fucking people! Just punching the wall.
Yeah, Spikes is gonna go like pull that thing off and read what it's got to say.
Truthfully, we are sorry. This is for the best. Voltsnu will help us once you go missing. Deepest apologies. Good luck.
He's gonna tuck that in his pocket, in his bag. He's gonna share with the rest of the group what it says. Well, it looks as though we've been crossed by these dwarves. Never had a great feeling about them.
The best.
We are
What do
the
they know what's
superior.
best?
Mm. Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna tell them when we got back. Their tower is shit compared to their times.
I told them we could help them with it, but you heard what they said. They are quite a dense group of people, it would seem. I thought they had a little more honor. Well, there's the shaft that goes to the surface, as Nadwa said, but
Well, I went up to this level, I think he said.
Hmm.
That's what he said, right? It came up to this level.
No,
and
it went up to the
Oh.
surface.
Oh, okay. Never mind, I'm wrong. So I guess we have to climb up the damn tube.
we didn't really inspect the shaft, but was it big enough for people to go through?
It did not look big enough. It
how's
was
going?
like this big and a little bit snaky.
Is there another way?
Well, how do the rocks? I imagine they're just pretty big, and it would take a long time to remove the debris to climb out.
At best.
Well, there was that crevice in the wall that we never took care to look through. Perhaps that lets out to a different entrance of a cave or something different.
Plus, there was also that portal.
Yeah? Let's go back to the giant eye stalk thingy. I'm sure he can help us out of this.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, Sykes thinking about the portal is just like,
I mean, this won't be a problem anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of
Uh,
things. More problem
Yeah, we have a new problem.
It's like the major pain snapping the pinky approach.
Yeah, exactly.
So your arm don't hurt now, do it?
Yeah. Mm.
It's the Jason Mendoza solution. Whenever I have a problem, I just light a Molotov cocktail, and then I have a different problem instead.
Oh, exactly.
Portals!
Well, there was that stream, and the water's got to come from somewhere. It's got to go to somewhere. Perhaps we can follow that out.
Yeah. It's a good plan. Now, we didn't really look this way either.
Hey, Tussie, how are you about seeing in the dark?
I can't.
You can't see in the dark. It's... Harkin couldn't either. I guess some things don't change.
Yeah, that's why I have this light on me. She'll like point to the light that she's created. See?
Very well.
Yeah.
I call it a torch.
They sure do.
Not like any torch I've seen.
I like to think she's like picked up like a weird shaped rock and attached to like the light cantrip to it.
She's like, this is my torch. She's like, yeah, that's funny. I'm just hearing that, that Sunday school, This Little Light of Mine song right now.
If you're doubling back towards the stream, you find the stream flowing into the darkness out of sight around the corner. You won't be able to inspect where it flows from dry land. You'll have to get into it.
Well, hope everyone can
I'm
swim.
not particularly a strong swimmer.
Oh no.
If you recall the creek that we were sent to find the...
Oh, God. That wasn't a shit show.
Oh, let me fail the dex save to stand on this and then not make the athletics check in the creek.
Would it be better to go up the water or down the water?
The crevice in the wall was like in this area, wasn't it?
I think it. I feel like it was, or it was. I think more towards here, right?
Crevice in the wall.
Yeah, so
I
there
thought
was
it
like a
was-
small crack in the wall that we were trying to get Chuck to go through it last week.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one over here?
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that seems about right. Because I think around the corners where we
Went through the
What?
illusion.
Yeah.
Well,
As far as what I remember from them.
how deep does this stream look like it is?
About 4
well-
feet.
Okay.
So like 2 tussies.
Yeah.
Really hope she can swim.
Well,
Here, tie this rope around you and then get on my shoulders.
I think all of us will have to go underwater at one point.
Yeah, but this way, the rope, he can just drag her along with. Hopefully her lungs make it.
How
Yes, if you go, I
cold
can pull
is
you
the
back.
water?
It's cold. It's very cold.
Well, we can try the crack first, or we can try this lake, or this river.
I think it'd be easier to check the crack in the wall. At least we can come back from that. If we go down the river, we're kind of stuck on that path.
Yes, I would hate for all of my stuff to be wet as well. It's not particularly forgiving outside.
Yes, if we can avoid it, that would be fantastic. Let us see about this crack.
And if it broke,
What
your
about
mother's
McCracken?
fire.
Tut McCracken.
And it was this room, right?
Yeah, I think that's the one you're talking about.
Is this a wall or a door?
This is a doorway, but there's no door in it.
That's right. Okay, I can't remember from. And how big is this crack?
Uh, it's a narrow passage. Tessie would obviously be the best. Chuck maybe could slide into it, but it's going to be very claustrophobic.
Well, there's not to say what's on the other side. You see, I would try to get through it, but quite a bit too big.
Where they would go, we would not
Would
be able to
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah, you probably get stuck.
Yes, I should probably be towards the rear on this one.
Harkin's horns would probably present a problem. Sykes is not the strongest guy, but he's got some of that orcish bulk to it.
Well, at this point, still Tussie, right?
As the main
I think-
contender, yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say you said Harkin, but Harkin's currently not Harkin.
Oh yeah, sorry. I wasn't meaning to.
His horns would definitely get in the way, though. I feel like he would get
Yeah.
caught in every rock. Have to
It's like,
come
let's go
off.
through this very narrow trail in the woods, and it's like just getting caught on branches all over the place.
Yeah.
Except
But-
then this is like rocky, so it's even
Yeah.
worse.
He's stuck in a crag, and now he's like stuck.
Yeah. It's like either we cause a cave in or you have to lose a horn guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Elfman? She'll tug on Solarin's rope. Like, if I keep this rope on, will you pull me back if there's trouble?
Of course. Just
I guess
Tug on.
Tussie's gonna enter the crevasse. Let's see how this goes.
You taking your torch in there?
Well, I mean, she calls it a torch, but it's just the light cantrip placed on a rock. She's holding it weird. She's holding it out in front of her.
That is weird.
She's holding it like it's an actual torch.
I mean, like a British torch.
She's like,
Uh, do I need to make any? Oh God, what would that be? Dexterity?
Acrobatics for your ability to
Acrobatics?
contort through.
Oh no.
Okay. You're like
Remember, 2 tugs if you're in danger.
you're worming and sliding through, and then you kind of slip and slightly lose your footing, and suddenly some shale gives out and you drop.
Like underneath?
Yeah. So like the
Uh,
floor of the crevice is kind of shale like and splinters away, and you slip and you fall. If I could get a dex saving throw from you.
that's saving throw.
I'll give him
What?
advantage because I have the rope.
Not quite. If once Tessie falls a certain depth, yes, but not for the initial drop.
Okay.
That little bugger's
You
moving quite fast, don't you think?
you hear a
The rope is
screech
like-
and then an echo and then the clatter of stone as Tessie drops from view, the light disappearing
God.
as well. And Harkin, I'm gonna have you join me in table 2.
Oh God.
We'll be back in a minute.
I would just get to stew.
Did we just kill a child? Did we just send a child off to its death?
Either that or
What
like
exactly
a
just
nest of
happened?
mind
Did you-
flayers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like-
yeah, she just broke through.
I mean, at one point you're gonna catch the rope. What I hope is that it's not like a situation in that other plane where it's like it's so tight around her that you, like, you know, Andrew Garfield, like, whatever is it, Emma Stone, however that ends, and you just snap her back and she's like falling in uncontrollable amount of distance.
Mm-hmm.
In Spider-Man, yeah.
No.
I say we sell Harkin.
What if Harkin really did die and there was just like this magical effect and he was like reincarnated as Tussie? I've been thinking about this all week long.
It's possible, like, yeah, weird reincarnation triggered.
Yeah.
Uh, Either that or some effect triggered, and I was thinking, like, we need to go to the gnomes. And maybe they
Well, I
have
think we
Harkin.
should probably do
and
that anyway.
just some concerned parents.
If there's, yeah, exactly. If there is a chance that Tussie is just a child that was like stone. It's like Boo from Monsters Inc. We're just like stuck with this kid that we got to return. Except there's no closets here.
We gotta be able to track one down. There's like buildings and stuff. Someone's gotta have a closet. We can make this work.
I'll use the green stone to like jam it into the door and like hopefully it's like turns it magical and like, oh no, we're just gonna try to use it as a portal back to her home. What is it? Is it not? What is the spell that I should know this because I play clerics a lot, but the spell that brings you back to a place you've already like declared as like a safe haven. It's kind of like a Diablo Scroll of Town portal, pretty much.
I know you can kind of do that with like teleport if you cast it a bunch of times, but that there is something else.
Yeah.
It's like just a recall.
Oh yeah,
teleport
it's
circle.
like that. I think it's a level 5 like cleric spell. I'll look into it. It was something that, like, I always wanted to like use with Brelin, but it just never ever came up.
Yeah, we didn't have many places we could go back. There's just a lot of burnt
Yeah,
bridges.
like yeah, like part of it was like I would always want to like use this spell, but it was like either I would burn spell components I needed for a different spell, or it was like it just only one time ever would it come into play, and it's like, oh, it's not really worth it using. I learned a lot of what not to do with clerics playing Breland, which is pretty good, I think.
You need a good crash course character.
Yeah.
Because a lot of spells like sound like they're gonna be really useful and come in handy, and you should never use them. No, the cathedral idea was good, and it kept everybody in there alive.
Yeah. That last battle. Who was it? Was the I can't remember how to say the guy's name. Kasachichi. That dude was just destroying us.
Yeah, it was rough for a while. But yeah, especially legendary actions, just AoE, AoE, AoE. It's fucking hell.
Yeah, this spell's literally called Word of Recall. It's a level 6 spell.
So what exactly just happened with Harkin?
So we sent him or her, Tussie, into that crevice that we had found up here. We tied
Okay.
a rope. Did not roll well on the acrobatics to get through the tunnel. Broke through some like shale loose ground, and is falling at we don't know how far, but then probably failed the dex save with a 5, and so he pulled Harkin over to table 2 to talk to him about
Making a new
whatever's about to
character.
happen. Yeah, he's
They're
like,
rolling
hey,
a new
so
character right now.
They're over there
yeah,
conspiring.
yeah. Just letting you know, you literally fell into the Tarrasque's lair.
Yeah, right. We've unleashed some kind of evil upon the land.
Yeah.
She's just fallen through and connected with the source.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's over. It's a wrap.
Why are your eyes
She
glowing
is
purple
one,
right now?
and she is everyone. She is here, and she is everywhere.
Yeah. There's this old like PlayStation game called Valkyria Chronicles, or Chronicles of Valkyria. And like one of the main characters is pretty much like possessed by this like magical force that's in the world, and just like wild magic just like burns out through, you know, stressful events, and some crazy stuff happens in the game. It's pretty fun, but that's what we're getting back is going to be like a time bomb.
Would be cool though.
Yeah.
I never know what the fuck is going on in this game.
He did I think he did a pretty solid job, like with the way he's using magic is something that's so unknown you can't really account for it, you know?
Oh yeah, that I understand.
Yeah,
It's
but I just
everything
don't.
else I have a problem with.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. Oh, I thought for a second he was banished to table 2 for the rest of the evening.
I rarely do that. There's one campaign that did 3 sessions with a split party, but rarely do I do that.
They're over there
I just
conspiring.
What were you gonna say?
I was trying to say, you're trying to hear what sounds like a man's voice yelling out for help, but I assume he's quite far away.
Only like 20 feet away, and then like
Several
15
feet down.
feet down. Yeah.
Guys, where am I?
We heard a loud crack. Are you okay?
I don't know. I don't remember being in a hole. What happened to that weird scuttling creature?
Holy, is that Harkin's voice that I hear down there?
Hark, is that
Yes.
Harkin?
Yes, it's me, Harkin. Who else would I be?
Yeah, that's a good point.
it's-
It's always been you. All right, let's leave him. He's clearly possessed or lost his mind.
Why am I like being strangled by a rope down here?
What?
Well,
There's too much to account for.
What have you done with the little girl, Harkin?
where is Tessie?
What? What?
Why'd you just go like Schwarzenegger?
Give me the girl.
Where's the
now.
girl?
Done. What have you
I-
done?
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is this rope's really cutting in underneath my armpits. And why are my clothes too small? What did you guys do to me?
well,
One
it's a
thing
good
at
thing
a
I
time.
didn't cut all the fabric.
First I get knocked out by what we were fighting, and now you like throw me in a hole?
Well,
Just wait till we cut the rope.
yes, can you see anything on your side? That's what you're supposed to be doing, is telling us what's over there.
Well, I'm in a hole, so there's not much.
You should have a torch on you. Just can you throw it down the tunnel further?
I'm in a hole.
Oh, how deep is the hole?
How deep do you say it was again?
You fell about 10 feet.
Oh, about 2 of me?
And it's just empty. Nothing in there with you.
I mean, there's some roots and loose rock and all that, but not much else.
Can I drop a torch in there?
So he's like 20 feet down this cleft. So you could like throw it, but if you throw it into the hole he is, you'll like hurl it straight and then it'll fall down out of sight. So you'd have to like venture into there.
I'm not
Yeah.
going in there.
And
That's a
Or
given
you
what
hit his head with a torch.
given what you told me earlier, he's probably slightly too big to like try to push himself up the hole.
It'll require some contorting. You can do so with another acrobatics check, but if you fail, you will be wedged.
I can try to move my way up, but this might be difficult.
May not go so well.
Where's
This rope.
Gussie?
What's the other end? I don't know who you're talking about.
It's the
What's a
little
Tessie?
girl.
Are you sure you aren't sick?
Sykes
Is it
for a
acrobatics?
second will think perhaps there is some other game at play, and he like checks himself up and down to make sure he is not Tussie. It's like, no, I'm
Maybe
still
I'm
me,
Tessie.
Syke.
Oh no.
This whole court's Tessie!
Oh,
Oh, let's pull him out,
Can
I
you
guess.
Can you guys pull on the rope? Maybe it'll help with the getting out here. Would that impede his acrobatics or help his acrobatics trying to move through it?
Pulling on the rope is probably going to make it a lot worse. because it's not
I'll
straight
stay
up.
still and we'll
They're
do all the
pulling
work.
from like away, so you'd get like yanked, dragged
Okay,
against the
so-
back cleft.
So probably try to get up first and then have him fall.
Yeah.
Just give me a second to climb out this hole, as he is going to attempt. Oh, thank God.
That would have been like the most grim death a player's ever had.
So slow.
Stuck in
Like, well,
hole.
the tunnel's blocked.
Stuck in hole.
He's not getting out of there.
Is it
After-
easier to go back to him or go over the hole?
So the cleft that you're in, you can see the end of it the other way, so continuing into the cleft dead ends.
Okay, so it's easy. Just go back.
As after
Okay.
about 20 long minutes, a very scraped and bleeding Harkin pulls himself out of the cleft.
It's like, where's my musket and my rapier?
Goodness.
Oh, I have them. Here they are.
Oh,
I'll
thank
head
you for
back
holding
to
on
this,
to him for me. Did
Sykes
you
is
So
kind of
you-
like marveling
him
over the
before
fact
you
that,
put
like,
me in the hole? It's like, why was I in a hole?
So you don't remember anything?
I remember we went through the tunnel of light.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that giant beast. We escaped, and I remember fighting that weird spider-headed thing. Was that a spider? It had spindly little legs.
yes, those things are pretty dastardly, but you know, Chuck makes pretty quick work out of them. Well, you probably don't know that.
You haven't really seen him in his prime.
Yes, confusingly, you were briefly replaced by a young gnomish child.
You don't recall anything over the last 12 hours?
No, all I remember is fighting that thing, getting knocked out, and then for some reason you guys put me in a hole.
Well, the
Go ahead, sorry.
dwarves caved the entrance in. We're kind of stuck, and, well, Tussie, the gnome child, actually volunteered her abilities to go through that crevice.
Why would you send a child through a dangerous area? That's why we have Chuck.
Chuck can't fit through there. You barely fit through there.
Yeah, but he has the mop. Also, I'm pretty sure it's a dead end, so that was a waste of time.
Not a waste of time. Tussie is no longer with us. We don't have to watch the child, and Harkin, you're here with us, so
You
I
got rid of the
feel like
kid.
that
This
was
sounds
a
like an
win.
absolute win.
It's like
Mystery solved.
we'll leave the child business for later. How are we getting out of here?
That is a
Well,
good
the other
question.
option was to try to go under the stream and see if it the mouth of it feeds from an outside lake or another stream.
Are we going upstream or downstream?
We would be swimming upstream.
I guess we're trying to tire ourselves out. Might as well do that.
Yes, I was hoping we
I
could
mean,
avoid it.
we can always go see if Nadwa has a different way to get out of here.
Might be worth an ask, at least.
Oh, I guess there's no reason to hang out around here. It's like,
Well, the
I
the
can't
biggest
remember
problem.
where we are. So how did we get back up here?
Well, you were Tussie and Tussie walked. And now you're back to
Quite a
your good old
redo.
self again.
I I still don't know who this Tussie is, but I hear the water this way. Why can't we go out the normal way?
The
Dwarves.
dwarves caved in the entrance.
Ah, how you know it's the dwarves?
Um, was the letter written dwarvish, or is it just...
It wasn't signed, but it was very clearly dwarvish written.
I have some correspondence that they provided, if you'd care to take a look. And you'll just, like,
Yes.
retrieve the parchment, and I have much better handwriting than this, so I'm not... It wasn't me.
Well, you're right about not being you.
Glad we could cover that one.
Yeah. It's like he actually knows how to spell this word correctly. Bye, kid.
I was going to let the hems out of your clothes, but I think I'll let you traipse around a bit longer in the smaller clothes.
I like to imagine it looks like he's wearing a crop top and like short shorts.
Yeah, he's got like some capris on, and like a halter top, and it's like, all right.
It's like, well, we have to get in this water anyways, so no use fixing it now. But my loot, I guess Harkin will go back down and he'll jump in the water ahead of everyone else. How deep is the water?
It's
4 feet.
14.
Okay, so he could like hold his head up above.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, cowabunga.
Party on, dude.
Cold, 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 cold. Oh, cold.
Yeah, I can see why Sights keeps jumping into the water like this. It's quite exhilarating.
Yes,
As
all
you
on my own
slip
marriage.
into the water, it's just Harkin going.
I think we're all going.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, this is our plan to get rid of Harkin. Have him jump in the water and swim upstream.
Well, obviously the crevice didn't work, so we're gonna have to try something else.
Yeah, exactly. So
How
how long was it that you said you could hold your breath, Harkin? Oh, that'll be plenty enough time.
You
I'm just glad they didn't
continue.
use the fishing line.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
continue down the stream for about 80 feet or so as it winds around this way before you see the water come as the ceiling comes lower and lower and then down into the water.
Well, I guess this is the part
Where
where,
Harkin holds his breath.
yes.
Yeah, I like to think though that he's God. What
Skeptical.
we've done, I was trying to say, at least adjust the rope so it wasn't crushing his ribs.
Yeah.
It's like first you send a little girl, now you send the most affluent and uh, charming member of the party.
Well, if there's any danger on the other side, perhaps you can talk your way out of it. Or
Uh,
hide.
any any sort of check for going underneath the water?
We'll say a con save since it's so cold to see how well you hold your breath.
We're just gonna be so averse to all these like options that we have. We're just gonna be stuck in circles here.
It's like we're just gonna keep staying Harkin through. It's like, oh, Harkin
Harkin
should
takes
figure
a
it out.
deep breath, but the cold water as you sink all the way underneath it is so shocking, you lose it after about 30 seconds. You're
Okay,
in
so
enough of a panic that like you turn back before you go too far.
okay. In that panic, can you tell if it was even close
You
in
did
30
not see
seconds?
it.
Guys, it is. And he's shivering. It's very cold. Um, 30 seconds. Like, I guess what? 30 seconds in, 30 seconds back, or is 30 seconds total?
It was 30 seconds total that you held.
It is. I didn't see any nearby passages. It seems to be quite a bit of a swim, and with the chilling of this water, it's going to be difficult for our entire group to make it through.
Well, we seem to be running short on options. Unless we want to go back to that other dimension spot.
No, he seems very adamant on that.
Without that, we don't really know how to get back down to Nadia unless we find a
I
passageway
mean, we
down.
won't. I mean, we won't one way of the river. Nothing
Yep,
would hurt
sorry, Sykes accidentally clicked that for you.
if we swam
You are gonna swim
downstream.
under the grate.
Okay,
Sykes,
okay.
Can I
It's like he's
get a
going
history
under.
check from Sykes?
Yeah. Let me
He's like, in fact, water is cold.
mm.
Okay. So that it seems a very unappealing attempt with the cold. With some luck, you could go a fair bit further. 30 seconds is amateur hour at holding breath, but the panic of the unknown and the cold had you definitely doubling back within 30 seconds.
I could give it a shot.
Yes, I feel like he was down there for not even a blink of an eye.
So I think you should go.
Stalern's already graciously said he would make the attempt.
Can,
Well, I didn't
can
know
I
if
attempt to
that was on the
persuade
table.
Sykes to do it?
No,
But it would
I'll
probably
do
be
it.
wise if we all held the rope on this end.
I'm pretty sure the female orcs in Dirtheim would think it very manly of you if you saved us by holding your breath.
You may appeal at my ego, but it will not make the difference here.
I mean, I think I did see a pair of shoes towards the end. They're all waterlogged and everything.
All of our shoes are waterlogged right now. I know I have my work cut out for me.
I mean, you're just gonna let that pair down there, suffer?
Hmm.
With no one to wear them. No
Yeah.
one to lace
They
them
look
up in
like
the
they could be
morning.
repaired. I think might be about your size.
Well, if they were the size for Tussie, perhaps I would go get them, but that poor girl was walking in clown shoes.
Yeah. Okay, the Sykes ain't fighting.
Solarin goes under the water.
I like to think Solarn's already left and we're still
Yeah.
arguing about this.
But yeah, I'll give him the other end of the rope and dive down.
Let's
save.
see your roll. Yep.
Ah.
A bit better?
You have enough air that you make a go for it as you start to swim deeper and deeper down. As you're venturing, you get into the pitch darkness of the water. At that point, can I get a history check from you? Okay.
When the DM's really trying to give you information, but we just don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
Honestly. You swim for a good 50 seconds to a minute before you start to doubt that you're going to be able to make it back comfortably. You decide to ready yourself and double back when you realize it's been so dark you didn't notice that the tunnel has narrowed,
Uh-oh.
and it is too narrow for you to turn around.
All right. I'm gonna reach back and give the rope 4 good tugs.
What's
Well,
4
tugs.
tugs supposed to mean?
I thought 2 was for danger, but 4 is 2 times that. Perhaps it's
Twice
twice
the
the
danger?
danger.
Or
I
it's
mean, I
something
think we
really
all know
tight.
what 4 tugs is.
Yeah.
Gooberfish! Huge teeth!
Uh,
Let's pull him out. He's been in
You
quite
start.
a while.
It starts getting
Now that's
frantic.
holding your breath.
he's just so tugging. We're arguing about the tag number.
As you start pulling back, this is a little slower, but you're like hauling back with the ropes as you're in the water also. And I will need one more con save from you, Solarin, as you're struggling to keep holding your breath.
Oh, thank
Oh,
goodness.
thank God.
Oh, good.
He's found his reserve.
And you get fished back out of the water, feeling as though you almost remembered something, but you lost it while you were panicking.
So is there a way through, Solarn, or should we just cut our losses?
You find those shoes?
did not see the shoes. But
Strange, they were down then.
He will be remembered.
it just gets narrower as you keep going. I didn't see.
The shoes were Robert Paulson's.
I mean, sometimes water starts off underground.
It's possible. There was something that was weirdly familiar, or I almost thought of something. It reminded me almost of something, but I can't put my finger on it. About the time I started running out of air.
You were down for quite a while.
Yeah.
Well, this
It's
in
been a
a
while since I've
spring
had to do
from a
that.
mountain.
It's the last gathering where I needed to hold my breath.
What?
If this
Oh.
is a mountain spring, then perhaps it
Going back
feeds
the
out of
other
the
way?
mountain the other way.
I don't know.
At least on the way back we can just float.
That would be nice.
Just or we can get out of the water and re-enter downstream. Try to warm up a little bit as we make our way there.
Well, we could, but how long do you want to be stuck in this cave for? It sounds like you guys have been stuck here a while. I've only been down here a couple hours.
It's not been a complete day yet, I don't think. But I also haven't seen the sunrise or set.
Well, that's kind of hard underground. Besides, I don't know if they taught you different in dirt time.
didn't actually catch that last little bit.
He said, generally, you don't see that underground. He was asking if Durkheim taught you different.
No, it's more of that. I couldn't be honest if we were here longer than a day or not, since I haven't seen the sun.
But, okay.
It's only
I
been
mean,
one
honestly,
sleep.
if you rolled that con save going in, you might have made your way out.
There could be more down there.
Yes, but if you say that it narrows, he tries to widen his shoulders as much as possible. I don't think I would be particularly the best one to make it through. And then he'll look over at Chuck.
Harkin will also look at Chuck.
The fuck you looking at me? I'm not going in there.
Just think of all the unclean mess on the other end.
It's a fucking cave, dude. I'm a janitor, not an idiot.
That's why I like you, Chuck. It's blatant honesty.
You're a
But
straight shooter.
if there is a way out, it
Yeah,
is
okay,
through
you know what?
this
I'm going.
stream.
I'm going. Just to stop having this conversation with you. Which way is it? Is it up here?
Here, put this rope on first.
I don't need no fucking rope. If I die, I'm coming back as a Cajun to hunt all of you for the next 2 years.
Dear God, no. Please wear the rope.
He's actually one of the remaining monks from his old monastery.
My name is Remy.
I will need a con save from Chuck.
Hell yeah, let's do this.
This feels like the boot shaking thing I had to deal with.
As Chuck takes a deep breath and begins swimming down, he gets out of sight when Harkin, can I get a history check from you, please?
Yes.
One of these days, I swear.
There it is. I just saw it.
Oh my god!
I mean,
Sorry
Chuck-
we're letting you down, Pa.
Chuck, you're swimming along and you're doing all right. You make it about a minute when you're starting to doubt if you will be able to hold your breath for the way back if you go any further. You can choose to gamble and press forward. You've got a decent amount. You guess like 1 minute tops left.
Am I swimming up this way?
You're like going around this way.
No, but what I'm asking, the direction that I'm heading, I'm swimming into the water, right? Like
Yeah.
Upstream?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, I'll keep going.
Okay. I will need a second con save from you as you're pressing further. There we go. Bit better. You like focus and you keep swimming along. And after 55 seconds, as you are almost full panic, the current lets up and you were kind of swimming this way, and every now and then your hand would brush the edge of the wall. You suddenly feel openness around you.
Okay.
Like the tunnel has widened out.
Oh, nice.
Do you try to surface?
No, I kill myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna fucking surface, yeah.
Thought I'd ask.
Do you put your head above water and avoid drowning? I don't know, Joel. Let me think about this one.
There's got to be one of
It's a-
those
it's a
bubbles
hard
like in
sell.
Sonic that come from the bottom.
I have seen weirder.
How bad do I want to be a Cajun?
He's like, now that I've got this in my head. I mean, you can meet the Cajun on the other side of the water. We would never know.
That's true. I just
Until
turned
we
my
saw
fucking
him.
turned into a girl.
Yeah.
Flailing
Chuck
upwards,
body's
you
just
are met
necklace
with
and-
relief as there is a pocket of air. As you surge upwards, your fingertips, though, brush the top of rock, as the rock ceiling is only about 2 feet above the surface of the water where you are.
That's all I need, baby.
Do you guys think he's okay? He's been in there quite a while.
With a gasp, you look around and you can see one small ledge on the far side of this wide pond that's about like 40 feet across, where the rock ceiling goes up to about 5 feet over the ledge. So almost enough to stand up, but definitely to huddle and be out of the water.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna go up there. Just hop out of the water.
At that
Well-
moment, does everyone else feel like they need to start pulling him back because he's been gone a while?
I'm gonna
Yeah, I was
disconnect
gonna
the
say, we
rope.
can
I'm
jug on
gonna
the rope.
disconnect the rope.
Yeah.
I think Harkin's gonna do 2 tugs to see if he gets a response.
Could you imagine, like, you are at the very edge and then suddenly they start hauling backwards?
Yeah, exactly.
And you got the whole 2 minutes
Exactly.
back.
Mainly, I'm
No,
actually
that would
disconnecting
just
the
be-
rope because Chuck thinks it'll be funny, for the rope to just come back without him.
You should, like, just cut it so it looks torn.
I'm gonna like
Oop.
give myself a nosebleed, put some blood on there.
We just leave him, we go down, we find the exit, he's stuck there. Turns into a golem. Or golem.
Untying the rope, the rest of you haul the rope back, and it is intact but untied.
Huh.
At this point, Chuck, last chance. Can I get a history check from you?
What do you mean last chance? I haven't even rolled a history check yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
you're the last.
finally.
You're the only one who hasn't rolled one.
Well, allow me to get the job done.
well, you got all this information and you're in a safe-ish spot, maybe. I don't know.
I like to
And,
think this is where he remembers that there's probably no exit.
Oh, I don't say that. It is probably like that part, though. Like there's some just nasty creature on the other side. Wait. He just like ponders this thought all on his own. He's like, well, dang.
I sent Chuck a message.
This is what you remember that the others haven't. So did he really untie the rope? Do we have the other end?
Yeah, we have an
Yeah, I
empty
definitely
end.
untied that rope. Chuck thinks it's gonna be hilarious.
Well, you guys think we should just go down the other way?
Well, you two weren't able to make it. I mean, there's a chance that I could, but I would hate to really think Chuck is lost to us.
I mean, who tied this knot? Maybe it came undone.
My knots
Sykes throws his
typically-
hands up. I'm not the knot tire here.
My knots don't tend to break.
Not idly
Either
do
it
the
was-
knots of Harkin.
Well, I did. Yeah, I didn't tie it. Did Chuck tie it?
No, I did. And I doubt it came out. Either that or something removed it from the end, but I see no fraying.
Well, with the rope being on this side, we would all have to, well, one more of us would have to carry the rope to the other to be able to guide everyone through.
Is it I'm a little confused actually right now because I don't know. So is this just like a room? There's no like exit to where I'm at?
It seems as though the water continues flowing down. Like, you think that the water continues flowing under the surface, but this is like a little bubble that's formed one way or another. So you could dive back into the water and keep swimming deeper if you wanted to try.
No, I am gonna actually dive back into the water and go back from whence I came, back to the group.
Okay.
But I'm gonna
No-
allow the current to take me in my body, and I'm gonna be just face down in the water. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wanted to make it look like I,
Like you perished.
yeah, like I drowned or something.
Okay. It'll be a DC 14 con save to make it back.
Oh my god!
He jams an arrow in his back. He's like really going for the whole look.
Yeah.
Oh,
no!
No! Please retrieve my body.
Bet you wish you had a rope.
Oh, Monsieur, you're gonna wish I didn't die.
what started as a prank
My name's
he literally just
Yeah.
floats out face
This
down.
is how I want Chuck to die. Is I want him to die doing a stupid prank.
Oh
how
no.
how fast is the river moving?
Not that fast. That's why it was a 14. He's using less oxygen, but it's also not moving as fast. Okay.
What was it on the way there? That's what I want to know. Because it
It was
should
a
be
DC 15.
easier.
It is easier, but you're moving at like half to a third of the speed.
And I'm not really trying either, so it shouldn't really be easier, I don't think.
Okay, so can you please whisper me one more con save?
Oh god. Okay, just give me a second, because I came all the way downstairs to get eyeless.
Sorry.
No,
Uh,
this is my fault. Running up
This is
stairs.
so bad.
This is hilarious. What are you talking about? Okay, I'm back. I gotta whisper you. Oh, private GM role. Oh, yes!
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh boy, we're about to meet Reggie.
Could I get a perception check from the other three of you?
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Alright.
Whew. Okay, Solarin, you see Chuck's body floating face down, emerging around the bend of the river into view. As you see it come into view, what do you do?
He's not moving. Move up and, well, yeah, try to grab him and pull him back towards shore.
You grab him and start hauling him back. As Chuck, I will need the last death saving throw from you.
Fuck.
Should've just tried to-
You know what? You fucking roll it for me. I'm downstairs.
Okay.
Last time- Okay.
His second con save was a nat 1 also. So he blacked out and he rolled 4 death saving throws getting to the edge and into view. And he's at bases loaded.
Whoops.
And because when you saw him you didn't heal him,
Yeah.
yes, make a fit.
Oh no!
What was it? What was it?
9.
A 9! A 9!
Oh shit. Should've, yeah. With all those dice going, should've known. Just heal right away.
Oh my god.
That was silly.
Oh my.
I'm looking for literally anything you might have, but
I could roll it. I'm back at my computer now. If you want to let me roll it.
Well, I can, if give him my inspiration.
sure. I will let Solarin give you his inspiration as it forces a reroll on that.
Okay, I'll re-roll it. That's how the new rules apparently are working. Is you're allowed to use like inspiration for whatever the fuck you want. Hell yeah.
Chuck rolled a 5.
Oh,
Well.
This is amazing.
I take it you can't throw bardic on that.
As a reaction, you can.
Yeah, I'll do it. I don't think it'll be. I guess it could technically be enough. Is what he said, or is it D8 now?
It is a D8 at level 5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Dude. You know, a little 50-50
Am
on
I
this.
rolling it?
Yeah, you roll a D8. You need a 5 or higher. Oh my god! You rolled a
Well,
3!
We tried everything.
Ah, this is amazing.
No.
This is how
No.
Chuck needs to go out.
Oh no.
Sorry,
How will we know who started the monastery fire?
Oh,
We
shit,
have
no idea
to
what
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at this point, it
Oh,
just seems
oh.
like
DM inspiration is advantage, not a reroll, and keep the new roll.
Okay.
So you're putting Bardic on the 9, not the 5.
Okay. So that would work.
Look, I'll take it. But just know I would have been perfectly alright if he had died.
Yeah,
right there, 'cause it's
I know
amazing.
you would, but we wouldn't. As
Just
you haul Chuck's
imagine
body unconscious, definitely Harkin, remember that Bardics can be cast as a reaction.
Oh shit, he's barely breathing. He's barely breathing. Ah. Blah.
As you,
Chuck-
yeah.
Or say did it? Solarin just like punch him in the chest, like knock the water out of him.
Well, you just see him, basically just summon it, or a ball of light sort of above his head, and he just sort of like, clear! Slams it into his chest.
Oh, you fucking bitches, I got you so good.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, you
Oh,
did.
that was so weird. I was hovering above my body, but I was in the water, so it was kind of this weird out of body in the water experience.
I am gonna say
you're
though,
a mighty fine actor, I would say.
that
you
was
seem
a
quite
level
dead.
of taxing experience on your survival that it's left a lasting effect on you. Your death saves now require an 11 or higher.
I'll show you.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm fine. You guys are the dumbasses. Falling for a
Well, you
stupid
held
joke
your
like
breath
that.
for nearly 4.5 minutes, it would seem.
I feel like part of my brain died.
Checking for signs of a stroke.
The whole left side of my face is just like fucking paralyzed.
I'm fine, guys. What are you talking about?
His brain seems to be unaffected, at least.
You know what's really
Probably already
funny?
like that.
Is you guys remember when we were in the Orc Town? We were told about a spell that could teleport us through rock. I don't know, none of you guys seem to remember. I can't do it because I don't have magic. But you guys should all know how to teleport through rock.
Teleport pour through rock.
Was it the spell scroll that we were given?
We were given. I don't know if we were given a scroll, but
You were taught how to cast the spell.
You guys are so fucking stupid.
Who was?
It was gonna be higher level than you can cast, so it would have required an ability check to try to do so. But yeah, you've never tried it before, but you were taught how to do so.
I didn't even have to swim upstream.
Well, it was entertaining at least.
Did you
Did you
figure
meet
that
your
out
god?
on the other end?
Yes.
I didn't meet God, but I don't know, there was a light and I walked towards it and then I saw all my friends from the monastery. They all looked pretty pissed off. And that's when you healed me and I came back.
yeah, the light
Yes.
could have simply been Solarin's abilities, but your friends from the monastery. It's something completely different.
And as Chuck barely survives that, we'll take a quick bio break here.
Dang, Chuck.
Chuck wakes up.
Yeah.
Comically close,
close,
only
huh?
because we made it out. Uh, otherwise, terrifyingly close.
Right. Well, we can try these spells at the entranceway and see if there's a way we can dig it out. Well, can we all go through? Or can we take something with us when we do this spell? I forgot how he described it.
You and up to six other people can go through. It's instantaneous through contiguous stone, but at the first interruption of the stone is where you appear. So if you pass through like a cavern or something,
Mm-hmm.
you will appear in the cavern.
Okay.
Okay, Solarin. No rush, but let's try to get out of here in one piece.
Certainly try. I'm just hoping that the cracks in when they crumpled the front of the cave, if it's not a contiguous stone, we might end up in a crack or something. I don't know if the little cracks will stop us. Hopefully not.
I'm sure it'll be fine, Solarin. Just think of the song that you write about you're saving us, and Chuck.
Wow, a whole song. I can barely contain my excitement.
I mean, the last song I wrote was when we, saved the governor. So think of how you
was pretty
will.
good. It was. I'm not going to deny it was pretty good. Palicard seemed to like it. Right, well, let's channel some unknown magic. Well, can I even, like, cast this thing? Because I don't really have spell slot with, like, hit
You
them.
cannot.
I just push my hands on the stone. It's not working.
So in the current lineup, Harkin can cast it.
Is that a spell slot that it takes?
It is a spell slot that it takes, but it's a 6th level spell, so it will require an ability check to successfully cast it.
Okay. I assume Arcana.
No, so it is a charisma ability check. As you all have to be standing together to do it, and you don't know, because you never tested this before, what happens if you fail.
Oh, we'll see what happens, guys. Chuck, get in here. Hold hands.
I don't know
I
where
assume
you
he's
guys...
away from the computer.
No, I'm here. Where are you guys?
Oh, we're back
Yeah.
at the entrance. Down this way.
This way.
Okay.
Just to save time, it's a ability check.
Yeah. Oh! As all of you feel this weird, like, sensation of being slurped forwards or almost falling forwards with suction, you land with a plop in a flash of falling forwards on green grass.
See, guys, it was that easy. Chuck, I don't know why you didn't tell us sooner.
You could have done this the
That would've
whole
been much
time,
better.
Harkin, and oh my goodness.
Listen, it was very difficult. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'll be better about reminding you about what spells you know in the future.
Very much appreciated.
Yeah, that was my fault. The one person who can't do magic at all in this group.
Is the one who remembered.
Well, it's also why he was the last one to get a chance to roll.
locked us in there. They certainly didn't want us interrupting their meeting with the Delwyn. Oh wait, they
Yes,
said
so.
they were waiting for Voltsnu to support them after we turned up missing.
Yes, perhaps we need to speak with the leader. Good thing they barricaded that thing. Hate to think if there was any more of those tentacle monsters in there.
As you are at the entrance of the mine, you're close, but not inside of the rest of the settlement here.
Is there anyone watching the collapsed portion?
There is not.
Oh. Oh, it looks like they believed us trapped in there. You think they would have darted us out? Or left us to starve to death?
They might have come if they got the support they want from Voltsnu. But if they're willing to trap us there to try to do this now, I don't know if we want to be seen by them.
Well, I guess they did solve their problem of the mysterious beast attacking them at night.
Yeah, it was one way of doing that. But I think they meant
I hope they pay us.
meant more to waylay us than anything. In either case, we might want to make for the woodlot. It's not to be seen if any from the outpost look out.
Burn their entire outpost to the ground.
That was certainly an option they gave us. Or Nada gave us.
They tried
Yes,
to kill
but
us, man. They tried to kill us. They tried to bury us in there.
if they were going to kill us, they would have just killed us. Perhaps they were just
Oh,
hoping to
that's
delay
exactly
us long enough.
That's exactly what they were doing. They caved in the cave behind us. They're trying to kill us. That's how you
I am
kill
with
somebody.
Chuck on this. I believe they did meet our ends in there,
I
so
say
they could
we
levy support from Voltsnu.
I say we confront them.
Do you make your way to them then?
I would say
I mean, if we were
Harkin
to
would.
try to sneak, I could use the pass without trace. Is what time of day is it? Is it the evening?
It is morning.
I fear if we walk right in, we'll be surrounded. And if they meant for us to be dead before, and we just walk back into their grasp, they'll have another chance to make us dead.
Right, so
Yeah,
just
you
wanna
can
ignore
take
that?
them.
Alright, so what's the move here then? Where do we go? What do we do?
I could cast this augury and see if a course of action is more to deliver a better outcome.
In
Yeah, sure.
the
Let's do that.
in the immediate, before you cast that, I'd say we make for the tree line. We'll stay close, but at least get some cover. We're kind of in the open here.
As you go slipping off into the cover, you wanting to lay low here for a time or sneak towards the settlement?
Sit here for a second while we sort of plan a little more, and he was gonna cast augury. Or...
Yeah, can I
Okay.
roll? Can we do a short rest while he's doing this?
Yes, you can.
Did we ever figure out what the blood elves were doing?
No, we have not seen them yet.
And I guess since they don't need to actually go into too much detail, but Harkin's gonna ask them about the gnome child. Or get what he would think is a recap of their adventures with her. So how would you guys paint uh the gnome child?
She was understandably terrified in her situation, but she held strong and even aided in battle. She has some sort of touch to the magic, similar to how you cast.
Yes, and in our study with Nadwa down there, which you probably don't recall, she did gain some abilities in magic. Um, I don't know if there is some life connection between the two, but perhaps there's something more that you can do that you previously could.
Maybe.
So
She
what
was
is it
strong
that-
and did not shirk.
She did shriek a little, though.
Yes, a few times.
What is it that you would require me to ask during this spell? If we should confront head on, or perhaps attack them while they're unaware?
Yeah, what's the question for the augury?
No. The question was not for the augury because the
Oh.
question's got to be a yes or a no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you still have to
or
answer the question.
yeah, no. The question was for the group.
Okay.
Of those two, course of action, or if there's a third, that they propose, I try to seek an answer to.
It is more affirmative or negative. It might be worth asking if these people can be reasoned with, or what these people say about the Delwyn is true. One of those might be useful for us to at least better gauge their motivations. Because if it is innocent blood, I wish not to spill it, if possible. Even though they're backstabbing, short-eyed little bastards! Well, but everybody has faults.
Easy, Solar. Remember your blood pressure.
Yes.
Just pops a couple beta blockers.
Well, it gives me information on a specific course of action, whether it's going to yield good or bad results, or uncertain.
No. Not yes, no. Then okay.
Yeah, it's like your course of action could be good, or it could be bad, or a little uncertain.
I guess asking if brokering peace between the Delwyn and the dwarves is possible, or something along those lines. Like, is pursuing peace between this faction of Delwyn and these dwarves a good course of action? Or as, the course of action that you'll get a read on.
Okay. So it's within the next 30 minutes. I'll do this towards the end of the long rest.
Okay.
And I'll rest augury. And the course of action I guess I'll propose is if we engage the dwarves about brokering peace, is that something that is still on the table? Because that's what we want to do, right? Is we're still trying to broker peace.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the wheel symbol.
It seems as though those that know and divine forces shine light on this course of action. Now I guess it's how do we engage the dwarves?
Well, they still expect us to be locked up. If we appear again, they may lock us up again or worse. Do you think it'd be worth trying to find the Delwyn camp and get their side?
I would say so. But the dwarves might also look as us giving up on them.
That is true. Or
But
siding with the enemy.
yes, but we still
Well,
only
they've
know
kind
one
of
side
done
of the
us the
story.
favor. They've kind of done us the favor towards Nadua by sealing that cave. At least we don't have to propose that as a course of action for them.
Yes, he's at least protected for the meantime. What do you guys feel? Should we try to approach the dwarves again?
We should, and I think that we should do it cautiously. But this time, we shouldn't take on any favors they ask of us. We should come with our own circumstances for how we're going to execute it. Not allow them to interfere, or simply, if they do wish to interfere with our plans that we develop, then we should make our way to the downwind and see what they have to say.
Right? That is okay with me if this is course that we desire.
We are alive. I do have their correspondence. Not all of the dwarves of Old Snoo wanted this to meet a violent end, so not to say we leverage their own words against them, but it is something that we can bring to the table as an outcome should they go against what we're requesting.
Sure, yes.
So do you-
They could blackmail them, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
it took
more
me
or
a while.
less.
I got left a little bit
Yeah.
in the train of thought and I caught up.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, we have the parchment, more or less. We can, I mean, we don't have to be upfront with it, but ultimately they would know that we probably saw or have that parchment, and that
Mhm.
They
we
would know
could
that we know
leverage
that
that
they
against
know.
them with Old Snoo. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I guess we're heading back that way then.
As you go traipsing over and coming into view, you can see a number of the dwarves working, some tanning hides, and then one spots you and drops their tool and jumps up running away.
I think we spooked them.
They certainly
Pushing their way through, you can see the dwarven elder step forward and looking at you, eyes narrowed and going, "How? How have you come to escape?"
because we are those not to be trifled with.
Of course. My most real apologies. Please. We did not wish to do that.
If this was an act of desperation, I can understand this.
I assure you it was, unequivocally.
Close. We were keeping our end of the bargain. With that group, did you attempt to make peace or bring them to talks?
We've not had enough time yet, but I did send a messenger, but you had to understand, there was no chance that they would take it, and we desperately needed Voltsnew's support in this. This was the only way we could think of.
We understand your need for aid, but we were aid given to you to help resolve this.
You were aid to resolve the situation. Be honest, were you sent to help us?
I like to think that your well-being was in the best interests of everyone involved. That aside, the mines that you remain in, it might be best to avoid them.
What do you mean? We need those mines. Those are our livelihood.
It might be best to set up shop elsewhere from what I've been told from my friends. I spent some time gone? Conscious? They haven't told me.
Sykes pulls out the tentacles that he had got from the grill, and if you seek your own death down in the mines, you can expect to face more of the creatures that these belong to.
Yeah, I take the giant head of the crawler guy and just on the ground in front of him.
There's a portal down there that can't be sealed. Leads to a horrid place. I believe that's where they're coming from. And it'd be too unsafe for you guys to attempt to even barricade it. Some of those creatures are very strong.
I don't understand.
What do you mean you don't understand?
We can fix that. We can beat them. This is solvable.
No, the
Bitch,
beast
you couldn't
at the
even
other end.
beat us. And I'm trying to recover from a stroke.
The beast that we found within the portal was so alien and powerful. We barely made it out of there alive. But it's apparently sent an agent out into this world.
A skinwalker. It could be amongst your clan already.
Be amongst you,
it would
or
be
it could
wise to move from this area.
We understand the difficulty in finding a new prospect for ore and material, but a constant fight while we're trying to solve the current dilemma would prove fatal to your group.
I thought you were here to help us. You can't even take care of some bugs? This is why we needed Voltsnew's help. If they thought that you had been taken or betrayed, then they certainly would have come.
And what if what are you gonna do if the elves never, our bodies were never found? It sounds like they just take the blood from their enemies, not the whole body. You've only hurt yourself in this action.
Well,
we still
now
want
that
to
you've
make
gotten out, obviously, but you weren't supposed to.
that just shows that you did not think about your actions more thoughtfully. I understand
it shows how
that.
Desperate we are.
Yes, but we offered you another way, and you just chose not to take it.
You would never convince those ones to help. I don't care what you say.
And
Well,
we
if
never
we
would
could
have
never-
gotten out from a collapsed mine. You haven't even
Also,
let
we
us have
do
a
hold
chance.
favor with Nada, and I think that any help that you may be wishing to get from Volt's New may be in peril now as we speak,
Okay,
given your actions.
why don't we cool it for a second? There's still some resolution to this.
Yes, there is. The plan that we have proposed to try to either talk down the elves. We, if that had failed, we would have been more likely to help you in the protection of your people. But you have made that difficult for us.
And what if
You
they
must.
still fail? And you can see that we truly believed we didn't have another way.
Well, if they still failed and you survived your fight, then that's what there is. But
Then
why
what
give
do we
up
do?
the chance for peace for more bloodshed?
This is not our first chance at... What can
Perhaps
we do
you
now to make this okay?
tell us everything that's happened, even the things that you've hid from us before.
We hid nothing from you before. I told you plainly everything that happened to us.
Truly. Yet
you
you
not
have
have
no idea
prospectors?
what beast that you slew?
We hunt! There's a half dozen that it could have been.
Well, we'll need a list of all of them. Perhaps my friend here might be able to determine which beast it was, so we may make amends. Perhaps that'll put an end to this bloodshed.
Anything else that you require?
Where do you...
I think it would probably be wise if you could set your prospectors to find another parcel of land if you are set to mine.
Yeah. Perhaps moving altogether might be a way of you saving your people. We understand it's difficult, especially after all the fine work you've done with this fort. And I'm sure Voltsnu would be more likely to help you in that venture than this.
Could I get a persuasion check from Harkin there?
Ooh,
All right.
It's pretty solid right there.
Why is it again that we must look for somewhere else? Not to question you, just to understand.
the beast down there, they can attack mines and take control of people. You would be having to fight your own every time you face them or lose entire groups entirely. Can your settlement truly face such losses each and every time you set for a mine expedition?
Could this not be our own choice, though?
But it would only lead you to ruin. We barely made it out of there. We faced a lot of them, and they only keep appearing because of the portal.
And you will make them stronger by giving them more flesh. Or more
If-
lives.
If we agree to this, you will still support us if the Delmwyn act as Delmwyn do. And you will not tell Voltsnu of this little misunderstanding with the mine?
We
In fact, what we will say, if you can agree, perhaps we can frame it as your
and
intent to close the mine to ensure that the creatures didn't wander aimlessly through the woods.
we would not sell you out if you put in your best effort to resolve this situation. We will help you with whatever way we can, depending on the outcome of the talks with the Dolmen.
Perhaps there's an area that is known to them that could better suit your guys' purpose and get them away from harassing you and creating more bloodshed between the two.
The worst case scenario, we can get Voltsnu to send resources to help you find a new mine. So either way, you will have help.
Very well. We will begin looking for a new place at once. You have my word.
That's all we ask. Any news on
That's a
any
great deal.
parties? Published parties in the woods.
Yes, if you could point us in their direction, there's a chance that we can still make good on our efforts to ensure they don't cause any more violence here.
None yet, but you have my word. We are continuing to seek them out.
Now, how about we have some drinks and take a moment to relax and ease some tensions. It does us no good to be so anxious near each other.
There's a long moment's hesitation as they're very wary of things working out so well. But then go, very well. You have a deal. And reaches out their hand to shake yours.
Arkin will shake their hand. Like,
I never thought a Fiendwalker would be so reasonable. As they signal for glasses to be brought and a liquor to be poured in all the glasses that's very, like, slate gray in color and rather thick and cloudy.
and they're pouring it all from the same source.
Yeah.
Okay. Arkin's gonna toast and see if any of the dwarves drink first.
They do
Chuck
drink
just
first.
Chuck's the first to drink.
Attaboy.
Chuck's first. That sounded about right.
Solarian, could I get a history check from you? Oh, what were you going to say?
Well, I know a thing, but I think that's what you're testing me for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you already know it, go ahead and say it.
Well, my player. Oh.
Yeah. You can say it.
They lean over and sort of whisper. They might be. They are resistant to poison.
I don't think they would poison us at this point. It takes too much planning to do that. Besides, look at Chuck.
Yeah,
I think
we're
Chuck
just
on the
just sort of
ground dead.
standing watching Chuck.
The right side of my face now goes limp.
Spikes would have naturally kind of declined anyways.
Chuck's stroke actually neutralizes the poison as it targets the part of the brain that already died.
Yes, that died, exactly.
So no more damage can be done.
I have to roll
Exactly.
11s on death saves, but I'm now immune to certain types of poison.
Yeah. Very niche poisons. Is
Neurotoxins.
Dwarvish alcohol stronger than most, or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, by
Harkin will drink some
nature,
too.
alcohol is poison, so for it to affect him in any degree, it would have to naturally be
Exactly.
stronger.
Exactly.
Does
I
how many drinks would Harkin have to do before he has to make a Constitution saving throw on that?
2.
2? I guess he'll
Spike
sing
might
us.
take a sip and then he would give his
Yeah.
to Harkin.
Yeah. Harkin's
Like
trying
you
to
would
sing this
sip the
song about
toast and then-
Paladar while he's drinking the second one.
The liqueur is if schnapps made a rust flavor.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Listen, it's Frank and we can have merriment.
Huh, smooth. Tastes like blood.
There's a lot of
I-
copper.
I feel oxidized.
Yeah, exactly.
Fetch me some blueberries.
Harkin will 100%.
Antioxidized for those of you who are not nutritious nuts.
Yeah.
Is that a
So
kind of
if-
cheese?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
What else is antioxidant? Isn't cherry antioxidant?
I think it is, yeah. There's a few things.
Yeah.
As the drinks are poured out, though, they seem much relieved, even if they're not delighted about needing to relocate. By chance, have you taken notice of any fetching places that we might take break to?
I guess the only mine that we've seen is the one that's already occupied, right?
That's why I'm asking for fertile ground to move to. Occupied does not work.
I mean, I guess it would. Would Sykes have maybe in a few times that he's like gone between the settlements or colonies, that would he have seen an area that could be fitting?
A few prospects. You don't know how the ore is on any of them, so that's a limitation, but you can make some suggestions.
Yeah, I think Sykes would offer up, I guess, what he would find like the best locations. And if I were you, I'd probably move to them sooner before the rest of my kin make their way out.
Yes, between Orc and Velsnu, it seems as though we're running out of places that we might settle in.
This land is filling quickly.
Well, we've only been on the coast, correct? Like, we haven't even done the whole coast.
True enough, but it is being eaten all the same. We'll begin our search in the morning, though you have my word. So, what else did you find in this underneath? All manner of strange creatures? These mind-eaters? Must have been most interesting.
Oh, it was quite the ordeal.
And
These
apparently
little brains that skittered around.
they met a strange gnome girl down there that they keep telling me about, but I don't think she's real.
He was a gnome girl.
You
for a
care to
while.
explain why your
We didn't-
clothes look so small? How would have I tapered and hemmed them up without you knowing?
I don't know. I thought you showed me that whole unconscious.
I am quite skilled, but not that skilled.
So,
Yeah, this whole time, I totally forgot, but this whole time, Harkin's like walking around with like really small clothes right now.
And he'll look down. I was like, I haven't fixed these yet. Yeah, I guess he'll take off his shirt and he'll start like kind of carefully undo like the stitching because it probably has been crudely done for sake
A
of
little
time.
better than crude, but yeah. Sykes will like kind of pull it out of your hands, and he'll carefully undo all the hemming and the tapering that he did.
Well, while he's doing that, Harkin will do his pants because he's no stranger around the needle.
Sounds harrowing, truth be told. I will heed your warning. Anything that you need for clearing out these gnome girls or whatever?
I think we are alright for now. What we need is to meet with these Delwyn as quickly as possible. Hopefully we will hear some word soon. Otherwise we will probably have to set off and try to find them ourselves.
I've heard candy works. Perhaps some rock candy?
We do like candy. He is not wrong.
I
Do you
was
have any
talking
candy?
about gnome girls.
No, the gnome. The girl's
Are you
name
a
was Tussie.
gnome girl?
Not usually, but if Hawken can turn into one, then who the hell knows?
You guys keep saying this, but I'm pretty sure this didn't happen.
You are literally missing 14 hours of time.
Yeah, what part of this isn't believable to you?
Of the shit we've seen in the last, 48 hours.
Like around the corner, Jonathan Frakes just appears and he's like, could it be that Tessie discovered the meaning of the universe when he was captured by aliens? No one will ever know. Unless we can solve those missing 14 hours.
Now I want to watch that show.
I'm glad you at least knew what I was talking about.
Click.
God. Anyways, enough about strange gnome girls. Would you like to hear a song?
What?
No?
Now? I feel like this is just inappropriate.
Oh, but talking about me being a little gnome girl is perfectly fine.
It's
Yes,
hilarious.
because it was a matter of fact.
Hmm.
Screw it. I want
Yeah,
to hear
like
the song.
it's not up for debate.
I like how this guy has no idea what happened, and he's like, yeah, it's true.
It checks out.
Yeah?
It's like all three of your compadres over there are saying it happened.
Logic
Either it's
sound.
one really crude joke, which we know Chuck is capable of performing,
Capable of
or
anything.
it is. Yeah. At this point, I think Sykes believes that you kind of are. He watched you paste all these creatures against the wall. You had that very terribly great prank. Yeah,
Well, and
almost
the
dying.
dwarves desperately need your help, so he's gonna go with the majority here.
Hmm.
So, anything else we could provide you to help with this clearing? Like, we'd rather not have to go miles and miles away just to be safe.
Well, I think that it may take you to move that far away.
Might
Or at
I
not
least,
wouldn't
be-
trifle with what's below this surface any further.
Mining will not be possible here.
Did the leader ever give us a list of the beasts that were hunted and the time
Yes.
frame?
As Solarin looks at the descriptions, because they have different names for them, you recognize the Mathir.
Oh,
The tiny badger-like creature that is quite revered because to slay one heals those around it. and so it's treated with a great deal of respect and only killed when need
Is
requires
right,
it.
Didn't we come across this thing?
You did, yes.
Yeah, we did come across one. I don't know if it's like the only one,
So,
but
based on the
Yeah,
list,
No,
would
it's not a
Harkin-
unicorn.
Harkin have recognized the description then? Or no?
Yes, yes.
So, Lauren, is this the thing that I think it is?
It is. They've done a terrible wrong here.
Is there any way to make amends with the locals about this?
With us as intermediaries, possibly. But they will be furious with those, especially with the retaliatory raids and the back and forth now that there's blood up in them. They will not seek a direct negotiation very well. It's better that we talk to them first. I look at the dwarf leader. What you have killed here is the Mithrir. They are a very important creature to this land with magical properties. This
We did not know this.
I
We
understand.
we
that
call
you did
them
not
nectar
intend.
badgers.
Just try not to kill any more.
We do need to.
I
I
mean-
wouldn't even say try. I would simply not
Do not.
kill anymore.
We kill them for food. We are sorry. We're very sorry.
Just do not anymore. And I'm assuming the rest of the list is safe.
Yeah, they're relatively benign. Most of these are game animals.
Yeah. The rest of this list is fine. But do not touch the nectar badger. They have great import and in dire need. You may petition us and we may be able to cure those who are deathly ill with them. But do not take these creatures from this land. They are highly prized by our people and already rare enough.
Very well. You have my word. And is there do you have some barbaric ritual for making apologies? Something we can do? Does it help if I rub shit on my head and smoke
Yes.
a pipe and get dizzy?
It's so weird that you would guess our exact tradition
a-
on the first guess.
Absolutely right.
I will go to preparing all of the required materials.
Do not
I don't
forget
think
the pig
there's-
around a
slice.
tree.
Or the butt
Guys,
stuff. The butt
I say
stuff is
there's-
very important after the shithead.
There's butt stuff.
There
I
is
think they're
always butt
messing with
stuff.
you.
What kind of a
I don't think there's
butt stuff?
I don't think there's anything you can do to appropriately apologize other than
The shithead
pure
butt
humility.
The shit butt stuff ritual.
A gift would be appreciated, but first, we believe we definitely need to talk to them first before bringing you to them, or other way around. A diffusion of temper is needed.
We can send them a barrel of Bushmargen, he says, pointing towards one of the barrels you've been drinking from.
I mean, not a bad start, to be honest. We should take them with us.
Very well, then.
It'll make a fine drink. And in desperate times, a good paint thinner.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll make a fine paint thinner and at desperate
Yeah.
times a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
As they clap you on the back and they seem relieved, they roll a barrel over towards you and inform you that they're going to be setting off to look for a new settlement immediately, though they are not pleased with it.
Yeah.
And we will end there tonight, as it didn't come to combat because with the fail check they would have started fighting you. And everybody would have
Which
been
would've been
kung fu fighting.
Well,
Hawking has saved us again.
Yeah, thankfully.
All right. Well, good game, guys. Good
Yes,
game.
let it be known that it was Harkin and not Tussie.
Hawken has
Well,
saved
I like
the
to
day.
think. I like to think Tessie would have been super convincing. Who can say no to that face?
Yeah, I think they would have been like, "Look, we'll leave if you leave. Also, take the screaming child with you."
Why she keep telling us that we're the problem?
Listen, Linda, listen, listen.
Where's that from?
Yeah,
Why
it
do I
was in-
recognize-
It was like a viral video, like a couple years ago. It was like a little boy telling his mom to listen to
Oh,
him.
that's right. That's right. I remember that.
Linda, listen.
All right. Well, good night,
I'm
guys.
really surprised you have talked your way out of a few situations, even though you almost killed one of yourselves with drowning, of all things.
It was hilarious.
Well, that's how we
That
balance
was
nature
hilarious. That
with
was
the
like-
skipping encounters.
Yeah.
Still gotta
mean,
give us
nine-
chances to die.
Not even like intentional drowning, just optional drowning.
It was
Yeah,
totally
that was
optional. I
definitely
tried
like
to
a
do it
very
anyway.
man-
Very
Mentioned.
optional drowning.
He was too committed to stop.
Yeah,
Look, man, I'm just trying to do my best here, okay?
And we do appreciate it. It contributes greatly to the situation.
yeah.
Well, it's like in the video game where you have to, make sure you check every corner because that's where they hide the good chest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No stone
funny.
unturned.
Or turn through the stones, as we found.
Yeah. Eventually.
It's great.
All
right, boys.
Puppy's itching
Prod,
for
you gonna
a
be there tomorrow?
walk.
Yeah, I'll be around.
All right, cool. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Hell yes.
Sounds good. Catch you guys
Later,
later.
Good night, all.
You
You guys
have a
have
good
a
one.
good one.